Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about what you need to do to create a course that sells. And a lot of people make the mistake of trying to include inside of their course everything that they know. They get the impression that in order to really give the value that someone wants out of them, they've got to basically spill their guts and add everything they can think of to it, thinking the more the merrier. And that's a really big mistake. Let me give you an example. Right now, my daughter and I are running a wine course or a wine club. And one of the things we do is we do wine tastings. We show how to breathe wine, how to decanter wine, the difference between whites and reds and, darker wines and heavier wines and all that kind of thing. Now, we've been doing this for a really long time and we have access to a ton of sommeliers. I cannot just spill all that information out to my clients, not because I don't want to, but because that's not really what my clients want. What they want is to have the ability to go to a restaurant and understand enough to not look like they don't understand a wine list. They want to be able to take a lady out to a restaurant and come up, pick something, have it meet the guy's budget, right? But then also be something that makes him look intelligent, savvy, educated. He doesn't need to know everything about wine growing and, California versus Paris versus, Spain versus Italy. There's a lot of that stuff that we include in there, but what I'm really trying to get at is how do I provide a really good match between all this knowledge that I have and what is it that my student, my member is really, really wanting. And the biggest mistake you can make is to overwhelm your client. And here's why. If you share information that's a little bit confusing, not 100% understandable, the member reads that and knows to raise their hand and ask a question. They know to come up and get with you to see, how do they get from what they understand to, what they need to understand in order to get over this thing you're trying to teach them. But if they're overwhelmed, they're really not going to look to you as the person that can help them past it. They'll be sometimes embarrassed. Maybe I signed up for the wrong program. They'll get frustrated, but they won't be highly motivated to go to you and ask you a question saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed, because they're stuck. And it's not a stuck that they blame the course for. They start questioning whether this is the right program for them. And that's a great way to lose a client. They'll just stop paying or, request a refund or, whatever the process is. And then you've lost them. So less is actually better. I often recommend start with something very simple. Like in our wine case, only focus on selecting French wines on a menu and make that a lead magnet or, an inexpensive download that they can purchase from you before they get into the more advanced program. So starting small identifies your market better. People can kind of relate to what it is that you're teaching in a way that's going, hey, maybe I'll take a next step in the sales process. Where if you overwhelm them, you send them too much information, there's just a huge chance of you're just going to lose them and you'll never see them again.